What Google has done is illegal. 13 billion euros in unpaid taxes from Apple. These profits were not taxed.
Back from Brussels and on home turf, breathing the Baltic air, Margrethe Vestager, the EU Commissioner who's hit the tech giants for billions in unpaid taxes. Feared in Silicon Valley, in Denmark, she's their hero.
You meet people you know, you say hi, you catch up.
And once a year, she comes here to the tiny island of Bornholm to kick back among her own at this most Scandinavian of inventions, Folkemø, the festival of the people.
So it's genuinely the people? Yes, they come here, they take a number of debates, they have lunch, they meet other people.
It's big issues being discussed.
Tusind tak.
Think Davos meets Glastonbury, but here politics is the party, from grassroots to party leaders and everything in between. Well, I'm surrounded by tens of thousands of Danes, politicians, business leaders, political activists, but mostly ordinary people from all walks of life. And they come here each year to discuss the future and the issues that matter to them. It's democracy the Danish way. There's no doubt she's a star turn here. A star too in Brussels, where she's one of those tipped to succeed Jean-Claude Junker as EU Commission President next year.
Well, I heard the rumor too, but it only tells me one thing, that Danish politics and European politics has this in common, that the rumor mill is very fast and very thorough.
But how does it must be flattering.
Oh, it's extremely flattering. I take it as that. You know, I've said that I would be more than happy to take another 5 years as Commissioner of Competition, because we're getting started.
She's more than started. She's 4 years into taking on the tech titans in a way that no one has ever done before. Some say it's become a personal mission.
You know, I can remember the world before you could Google things. I don't want to get back there.
So you like Google and Apple and all the big tech companies? This isn't anything to do with giving the US tech giants a good kicking.
I like tech, and I think the potential is enormous. But with the backslash that we have seen over the last couple of years, we've got to make sense of tech, and we have to enable people to trust what is going on.
For her, it all comes down to trust, and the allegations about data privacy in Facebook revealed on this programme have plunged the sector to a new low.
How significant do you see that whole revelation?
This is big. This is really, really big, because I think it was an eye-opener. Because it was not just that your data was siphoned off to someone who wanted to sell you more of some products. It was siphoned off to someone who seemingly wanted to influence elections.
A warm reception here, but there's a frosty breeze blowing from Washington as Mrs. Vestager goes after such American icons as Apple, Google and Amazon for billions in unpaid taxes.
We cannot have bias in our work. It cannot be about the flag you're flying or how you're owned. It's got to be about your behavior. In the European marketplace, you play by the European rulebook.
The flag flying here is unmistakably Danish, and Miss Vestager is every inch the proud Dane, but a liberal politician too. Now at the Commission, she was previously the Deputy Prime Minister. Her party is now out of power, and arguably some of her politics out of favour in a country where the burqa has just been banned. And as the political comedian points out, polling suggests 50% of Danes would vote to leave the EU, never on her watch. When they see Brexit and Trump, Danes prefer democracy, Mrs. Vestager answers. Not a killer line, but here among liberal kindred spirits, she gets a laugh. But does she get the rise in populism across Europe?
I think now in every member state, the population is more positive. It's about having a European democracy and solving things at the European level.
How do you explain then populism and the far right and
well, I
what we saw with the vote in Europe, in Italy?
Yeah, but I think that
all of that is.
But I'm just very careful not to label people.
So you're not worried about the fringes?
Well, oh yes, I'm extremely worried about it because I strongly disagree.
You're not worried about it rising, is what I mean?
Instead of saying you shouldn't do this, these are awful people, we should try to sort of decode what's the message.
Whether decoding Europe's disaffected voters would ever translate into action under Mrs. Vestager is the big unknown. But Angela Merkel's young coalition, teetering because of an immigration dispute, is a timely reminder that Europe's political elite can't afford complacency. But as a commissioner, she's now an onlooker, not a player in Danish politics. In the corridors of Brussels, though, she's one of its leading women, engaged in bruising battles, most famously with Apple's chief executive, Tim Cook. You had to hear him out, but then he famously described your conclusion as political crap, didn't he?
Well, that is in the public domain, so to speak.
Not particularly respectful.
No, but I think it comes with the job.
That doesn't intimidate you, does it?
With 500 million Europeans, you know, relying on me? No.
Wow, it's a lot of responsibility on your shoulders, though, no?
Yes, good they're broad.
Thank you very much, Commissioner, for talking to me.
It was a pleasure, and it was so great that you came here.